All right, what is going on, guys? It's your boy ShadyMikeGaming, and I am back from hiatus, back with a bang, back with the MVP of the NBA, back with the best big man in the NBA, back with the process. Guys, I am so hyped to bring you guys this signature shot. I've been working on this for so long, way longer than you guys know. But first, before we get into Embiid, I did want to share another thing with you guys. If everything went right, today should be Friday when you're watching this. So tomorrow on Twitch, twitch.tv/ShadyMikeGaming, we're going to be streaming. You guys asked for a weekend stream. We're bringing you a weekend stream. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. we are going to be streaming something special. We're going to be streaming NBA2K77. We're going to be streaming to celebrate the launch of NBA2K77. If you don't know what NBA2K77 is, check out the trailer that I made for this project. Now, I'm not involved in the creation of the project, but a lot of the guys are in the Discord. All of these guys work super hard. This is an incredible project. I just wanted to stream it for everyone that was interested so that I can show you guys the features. If everything goes well, I also want to have like the main modder, pretty much the creator, the idea maker of 2K77 on the stream, kind of like, you know, in an interview format, ask him some questions, go through the features of the mod, guys, and show you what it's all about. So I just wanted to get that out there, guys. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be doing that on stream on Twitch. Now, as we take a look at Embiid, now again, most of you guys have tuned into my stream, have heard me say all of these things already, so you already think I'm crazy. But guys, Embiid, I truly do believe, and I've said this time and again, I think that he is the most talented big man to ever play the game. Yes, I know about Wilt. Yes, I know about Bill Russell, Hakeem, Kareem, David Robinson, Tim Duncan, everybody, Shaq. I get it, but I'm telling you guys, when you talk about a true unicorn, I know they gave that nickname to Kristaps Porzingis, but the true unicorn, someone who can just do everything and do things he shouldn't be able to do at his size, guys, it's Joel Embiid. It's not close. We're sitting here talking about this year shooting 39% from three, 86% from the free throw line. He's got mid-range, he's got post moves, he's doing windmills, he's doing Euro steps. There is nothing that this man cannot do. I'm so proud that he's the cornerstone of my team. So as we take a look at the jump shot, guys, the number one thing about his jump shot is he has a significant dip. What I mean by dip is basically when you catch the basketball, you catch it right here, right? We call this shot ready. Some guys catch it right here and go straight up with it. Some guys catch it here, bring it down, and shoot through their body. We call that a dip. That's what Embiid does. So if you take a look right here, really, watch what he does. Brings it down, kind of scrunches down, and he, you know what I mean? He gets that power through his body. Now, the number one thing about his release is, about the base is he has a dip, but he doesn't have a lot of vertical. Most of the bases in 2K that have a significant dip also have a pretty significant vertical. So we had to go with the base that, you know what I mean, has that dip and, you know, kind of has him in this motion right here, but also doesn't give him a crazy amount of vertical. And that's all it is. His legs stay spread. He has a short hop forward, nothing crazy, barely any vertical. Honestly, the shot might have too much vertical. Usually only has a couple inches off the ground. That's the base, and that's what we got from Embiid. Let's go ahead. Matter of fact, I wanted to get this camera angle going. Let's let him get a couple of shots up so that we can kind of take a look and see exactly what we've got from Embiid here. And it looks good. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of vert. It's, you know what I mean? He's hopping forward just a little bit, and it looks really good. Now, I want to speed up just a little bit so we can kind of get a better angle from behind. So we're going to take a look at his release. So number one thing about his release, right? He does keep that elbow tucked in. Now, it's not at a 90-degree angle, but it's just above a 90-degree angle. Now, it's a very textbook release with the exaggerated wrist here, but I want to talk about a little bit about his offhand and what he does and why that was really the number one thing on his shot, and why I chose this camera angle, because it kind of captures it the most. When Embiid is shooting with his offhand, yes, he's got the wrist motion, but he's got like a flick, not a flick, but that offhand kind of just points forward. It doesn't move forward, doesn't wave forward, it just kind of points. I always joke like he's roasting somebody, and he really keeps that hand, his two hands close together. So we were able to capture that motion very well. And you know what I mean? He's just got that straight offhand, and that's what we were going for. But the number one thing is we have to keep those hands close together. So we were able to capture that motion, I think, flawlessly. And again, I want to just make sure we can get this shot, you know, and get it in a couple good looks. It's just like a nice flick with a perfect form. It looks really good. It looks really good from all angles, but you can see that accurate form the best from behind. And that's Embiid's shot, guys. It's very textbook, and it looks good for him. Now, this is going to be a full signature edit. Obviously, we're going to take a look at all of his game because, again, the jump shot, like, that's nice. Yes, he's got a nice three-point stroke this year. It looks good this year. And, you know, he's not missing a lot from three this year, but Embiid's all-around game is what makes him special. Now, again, I said that I think he's the best big talent-wise, not greatness-wise, but talent-wise in NBA history. I'm sure most of you disagree with me. Maybe by the end of the video, when we go through and see all the things that he can do, you'll agree. Maybe not. But let's go ahead and get into everything else. All right, guys, so when you go and take a look at his jump shot, we go with jump shot 11. The number one thing, I know you guys are going to spam the comments, I don't see jump shot 11. You have to go into his height and lower it from 7 foot down to like 6'4" or something like that. By the way, there's some discrepancy online about his height. One thing I noticed, I think Joel Embiid is 7 feet tall, but like if you go to a Sixers game, they announce him as 7'2". There was this rumor floating around he's 7'2" now. I don't know how true that is or not.
And a 7'2" center from Kansas, number 21, Joel The Process Embiid.
The way that story actually started circulating was Embiid had said like he went to the doctor. He texted Brett Brown in the middle of the night. This is the story he told. He said, Joel Embiid texted me in the middle of the night and said he got measured at the doctor wearing sandals, and he measured 7'2". Now, I don't know how true that is, because when he did his official NBA measurement without shoes, I think he came up like a flat 7 foot. But when you look at like pictures of him, like there's a picture floating around, I think, with him like standing next to Mo Bamba, it literally looks like he's 2 inches taller. Now, there's a whole bunch of issues with that because there's so many different things. Number one, you're getting measured in shoes, and that kind of started happening with me in my personal life too. Like as I started growing a flat top, now all of a sudden when I go to the doctor, I'm 6'1", and I know I'm only 5'11", but hey, driver's license says I'm 6 feet tall. There's a flat top situation going on. I know with Embiid, he's got an afro and he didn't always have it. So he's anywhere from between 7 foot, 7'1", 7'2". You can do whatever you want with that one. You know, when you go to a Sixers game, they announce him as 7'2", but he's realistically probably closer to 7 foot flat. Maybe the hair puts him at 7'1", and maybe the shoe will give him 7'1.5", but who knows? It is what it is. So for the, you have to, I just said that because you have to, you know, lower his height to get that base jump shot 11. For the release, to get that nice smooth motion and accurate shooting hand with the exaggerated flick, we go with Zach LaVine. Blended to release 51 with 116. What 116 does is it gives you an accurate offhand, and it also keeps those hands close together. I'm really happy with what we came up with. Guys, we go it very slow, but don't worry. You guys saw the shot in game. It looks really nice. It's not too slow, but it just really fixes the timing of the shot. As we move over to the free throw, guys, this is I've always jokingly called Embiid Big Harden. This is a big part of Embiid's game. He's very accurate from the free throw line. We went with the form that is the most accurate to what we've seen in years past. I've been using this free throw for him for years now. Very accurate 47. It's just really good for Embiid. Looks good. As we move over to the dribble pull-up, we go with normal 6. It's funny because I actually figured out normal 6 from the Kawhi Leonard video. When Embiid does his straight away pull up, his body is like ever so slightly leaned back, but not a lot. You could use the Durant pull up for Embiid, you could, but my problem with the Durant one was I just felt like he was getting a little bit too much vertical going to the right, so that's why I went with normal 6 here. For the spin jumper, Embiid does a lot of like turnarounds, but he never like fully does a 360. He usually does like a half spin and spins back, but I just went with the one that was most consistent to his post move. So that has a very stiff leg. So we go with normal 10 there. Now, for the step back, you go with big, and this is super accurate to what we've seen from Embiid. Embiid like does step backs like quite a bit. Like this is a part of his game. This is something that he's worked on. So I wanted to include this in the video because this is something that he can do. Now, when Embiid does a step back going to his left, it's a little bit more straight up and down, never a crazy amount of vertical, but more of a straight up and down form. But when he goes to the right, he has a little bit more of an athletic form on the step back, and he actually, you know, has like a little bit of a leg kick. So believe it or not, big is actually perfect for that, and that's why we went with that one. I know it's surprising to see a big man do moves like this. Again, yes, it's part of his game. No, it doesn't always look pretty. Yes, sometimes it's clunky, but that is a part of his game and something that he does, and in my opinion, again, that's part of what makes him special. Now, when you go to the layup package, we are going to go with default swing. Why do we go with default swing? I was pretty torn between this and actually the James Harden package, because the number one thing we're looking for on the layup package, Embiid doesn't do a lot of layups. They're mostly post finishes, so we are strictly trying to capture his Euro step. Now, the Euro step is a very big part of Embiid's game. When he's driving down the lane, he will almost always do a Euro step. Guys get nervous. They don't want to get dunked on. He's a big man. You know what I mean? They just don't know what he's going to do, but it's funny because he usually goes with a finesse finish. So Embiid has a lot of foot speed. That's a very big part of his game, foot speed, doing his Euro step. And I thought the default swing had the most textbook Euro step that really replicates what we've seen from Embiid. Now, once we move over to the dunks, Embiid is a big time dunker. That's a really big part of his game as well. The go-to dunk package is definitely going to be the under basket rim pulls. He's always going to be a threat to do a massive dunk off of a rebound or something like that. But Embiid also is going to be going for posters and things of that nature. So we give him the big man tomahawks off of one. This is one that, you know, gives him a good amount of athleticism, but he's a big guy, so he doesn't get a crazy amount of vert. Now, every now and again, Embiid is going to be looking to do a poster. We give him big man tomahawks off of two. Very accurate to what we've seen him do. We also needed to give him a reverse package because we have seen him do reverses and things of that nature off of drives and pump fakes and things like that. Now, there was no way I was going to do this video without giving Embiid his windmill. I know it's not something he does a lot, but it's something that he did and will forever be one of my favorite playoff moments of all time. So we do give Embiid big man windmills just in case he wants to show out on the break. So that's why we go with that. Now, obviously, guys, the post game is Embiid's bread and butter. He's number one in the NBA in post ups, number one in the NBA in post up scoring. Now, the number one thing about Embiid in his post game, and I'll tell you guys, to be honest with you, I have footage for this video. I could have done this video without even looking at footage. I think I've seen every second of basketball professional NBA basketball that Embiid has played. So for his post fades, the number one thing about Embiid's fade, just like Kawhi, when he's doing his fadeaway to his left, he just kind of sticks that leg out, his right leg, and it's stiff. It's not a kick, it's just stiff. Now, the really cool thing about Fade 7 is if you do the fadeaway without having a spare dribble, he'll do like a one-legged fadeaway, and that is something that we will have seen him do. So that's a really cool concept. Now, when Embiid goes to do a fadeaway to the right, he almost never does a fadeaway going to the right. If he turns over to the right side, he's usually going to do an up and under or some type of jab step or pump fake. He almost never shoots it going to his right. But if he does, his whole entire body kind of does like a twist, not necessarily a scissor kick, but a twist. So that's why we go with Fade 7. We go with post hook 3 because when Embiid does his hook shots, which again is also a big part of his game, being a 7'1", 7'2" center, he gets a lot of extension. So even at his height, he holds the ball high and he gets a significant amount of extension. So that shot is completely unblockable at that height. At that point, you're not blocking his hook shot. So we go with hook 3. So for the hop shot, again, one thing I notice about when Embiid does go to do a hop shot in an NBA game, he doesn't actually shoot the ball, which is what it is. He'll do like the hop motion and pump fake and then try and do an up and under. We know that shimmies, pump fakes, up and unders, that's a really big part of Embiid's game. And he says even that he got that, inherited that, copied that from Hakeem Olajuwon. But we go with post hop shot 6 because it does have that, you know, that stiff extended leg, and that's the one we go with. It also has, like, you know, the most accurate kind of like hopping animation that he does. So we go with post hop shot 6. Now we're gonna go for the shimmy fade. This is the most important part of Embiid's game. We go with shimmy fade 15. Now I told you guys his post game in terms of the fades did look a lot like Kawhi Leonard's, but this is where we veer off. The number one thing about Embiid and his shimmy fades is, again, sometimes he shoots it, but 9 times out of 10, Embiid is going to be doing some type of up and under, shimmy, fake, pump fake, and he's not going to shoot the ball a lot. Now, if he does shoot it, he's going to shoot it fading to his left, but he's most likely going to go for some type of fake, some type of up and under. Now, we went with shimmy fade 15 because it has the most accurate shoulder fake. He usually holds the ball with 2, gives you a very exaggerated shake, and the reason Embiid is so unstoppable is because people bite on these pump fakes all day. I think he leads the league in free throw attempts. If he's not, he's number 2. Just those pump fakes are completely unguardable in the post. It's a really big part of his game. So shimmy fade 15 copies that perfectly. For the shimmy hook, same deal. We go with hook 1. It also has the proper extension on the hook, but it also has the most accurate animation for when he's doing a hook shot, or I'm sorry, for when he's doing an up and under type fake. So getting those fakes to be accurate to replicate his game in terms of what we see is extremely important to me, and that's the way that we get Embiid to, you know, be able to do all of these extravagant fakes. Now guys, just like I said in the Carmelo Anthony video, you can set all of these moves, but honestly, it's up to you to do the fakes and things of that nature. But this signature shot just makes it that when you go to trigger a move, it will trigger something that looks a lot like what Embiid does in the post. And that's all I'm trying to give you guys, is the opportunity to play and feel like you're playing with Joel Embiid. Now, dribble style, there was no need to change it. For the signature size up, we go with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Quick note on this, I do believe you have to raise his ball handling attribute to 65 so that this will actually trigger, because for me, until I raised it, it was not triggering this animation, which is interesting that his handle is so low anyway. We've seen Embiid bring the ball up, we've seen him handle the ball in open court. He by no means is clumsy with the basketball. He has a nice handle for someone that's 7 feet tall, so I have no problem raising his his handle up just a little bit. But the Giannis signature size up is something that we will see Embiid do in the mid-range, usually before a double comes. So this is something that I just immediately said, oh, we're either going to be between Giannis or the Donovan Mitchell one. And the reason we chose Giannis is because the Mitchell one is just a little bit glitchy. So we go with Giannis, and it's very accurate to what we've seen from Embiid. And guys, that is it for the process. Joel Embiid, truly a special talent in this league. I think he's the MVP. I think he's been the best player this year. He's carried my team. Again, this is a really important special video for me. I just wanted to make sure we did him right, did him the right way. There's a lot of attempts online that I wasn't really rocking with, so I just wanted to make sure we were able to get Embiid looking right, getting his post moves looking right. Guys, if you like the video, please hit the like button. It really helps, and subscribe to the channel as well for more signature content. Sorry, I can't talk. Signature shots and content. I also am gonna have an update on the Go to This in V2 slider set coming next week. Really excited for that. Finally got over the hump in terms of the things that were bothering me with the set. You guys are really gonna like V2. We're gonna have some gameplay coming up on future streams and things of that nature, so stay tuned here on YouTube and on my Twitter feed at ShadyMikeGaming. I'll be giving you guys updates and little gameplay snippets and things like that for the new slider set coming up. You guys are going to love what I did with the new layup system. So guys, this is ShadyMikeGaming. I just seriously, we're coming up on 10K subscribers. I can't tell you guys how much I really appreciate the support, but other than that, I am signing out. Peace. Threes.